I'm not going along. And I don't think we need a president who's trying to see it both ways. What both ways? What both ways? What both ways? You know, I remember you were talking, sir, about knowing Oprah. You knew Oprah years ago. I remember when I was on her show early when my book, A Return to Love, came out. And I was talking about love. And somebody on her staff said, well, shouldn't we have somebody coming with the other side? She said, what other side? What other, in America, what other side? Because one is a democracy. One is a government of the people, by the people, for the people. The resources of government your government should be saying, ma'am, how can I help you? Right. That's what the government is for. We have forgotten, and it's a mind game. That is the purpose of government, and we have been trained to say pretty please.
You've obviously chosen to focus on some smaller rural communities. Why was that important for you to do during the visit to South Carolina?
Just focusing on America. I don't speak one way to people in a big city and another way to people in a rural area. I don't speak one way to rich people, one way to poor people, one way to black people, one way to white people, one way to Jews, one way to Christians, one way to gay people, one way to straight people. I'm having an American conversation. And my exposure to the variety of the American experience is informing me. As president, I would be president of all the people. And so I want to know all the people. Rural America, maybe the traditional politician says, well, the votes won't be there. But as president, that's a huge swath of America. You can't really understand the American experience if you're not exposing yourself to the rural communities in America. And also, since the 1980s, some of the biggest distress is in the rural communities in America. So that's what a politician should be, is speaking to the distress of people. That's what a president should be, is speaking to the distress point. So I want to have all the information because, you know, if you run for president, there's a chance you're going to win. And if I'm president, I want to enter the Oval Office having seen as much as possible about what's really going on in this country. And what's happening in rural America is a big part of what's going on in this country.
Coming out of the first Democratic debate, your name was actually the most searched online of any of the candidates. In the minimal amount of time you got to speak, with 10 people on the stage, what is it about your message you think that struck a chord with enough people for them to say, you know, I at least need to check her out and find out a little bit more about where she stands on things?
Well, I pointed out that we don't so much have a healthcare system in America as we have a sickness care system. We just wait till people get sick and then we talk about how we're going to pay for treatment, when what we need to be talking about is why, compared to other advanced democracies, do we have so much unnecessary chronic illness to begin with. And if we do that, then we're going to have to talk about our chemical policies and our environmental policies, our air, our water. We're going to have to talk about our food. And that, to me, is what a president should do. So as president, I don't want to just talk about how we're going to pay for your health care, as important as this is. I also want to talk about all the things that are going on that are too likely to make a person sick. I talked about what's going on at the border with these children and how kidnapping a child is a crime. That's a crime whether it's one person doing it, thank you, or whether it's a government doing it. I talked about the fact that we have to look at some things going on in America that are not just on the surface level, but we have to inspire ourselves. We have to be motivated in this country. We have to deal very honestly in a very real way with some very significant challenges, and we're not going to do that by pretending that everything's better than it is in places where it's not. We have to have a real conversation about race in America. We have to have a real conversation about economic injustice in America. We have to have a real conversation about what the economic patriotism looks like. We have to have a real conversation in America about the fact that our government does more to advocate for short-term profits for huge corporate entities than it does to advocate for the health and well-being of our people and our planet. And when we do have that honest conversation and we do get real about it, then there's nothing we can't do. And we're going to do it.